Everyone is requested to please be seated and maintain the decorum. We are about to start. With voices aloud, with minds aflame, we rise to lead, to bring about change. The time is now. The future is bright. In our hand is our nation's light.
A very good morning to everyone present here. A beautiful day dawns with hope and promises. We are thrilled to commence our conference. As the morning sun brings light, we gather to illuminate global issues and forge paths to brighter future. It gives us immense joy to welcome our esteemed dignitaries, respected faculty members, our honorable executive board, and the brilliant delegates who have joined us across the country. I, Nitika,
and I, Prem,
extend our warmest greetings to you all. Together, we open the doors to 2 days of diplomacy, debate, and discovery. A journey of passion, intellect, and inspiration. We extend our heartfelt warm greetings to our chief guest, Honorable Sri Rakesh Asthana, IPS, Dr. Nand Kishore Garg Sir, Founder Chairman and Chief Advisor, Mains, and Chancellor of Maharaja Agrawal University, Baddi, Sri Vineet Kumar Lohia Sir, Chairman, Mains, Sri T.R. Garg Sir, Secretary General, Mains, Rajesh Gupta Sir, Joint Secretary, Mains, Sri Mohan Kumar Garg Sir, Joint Secretary, Mains, Professor Dr. Rajni Dhingra Ma'am, Director, Mains, Professor Dr. Praveen Kumar Gupta Sir, Head of Department, Law, distinguished guest, Director and Head of Departments, faculty members, participants and all the delegates present here. Today we gather not just as participants in a conference, but as thinkers, visionaries and change makers. Mains Model United Nations and Youth Parliament 2025 is not just an event, it is a platform where intellect meets empathy and ideas transform into action.
Vakratulund Mahakaya, Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Every celebration becomes sacred when graced by the divine. We request everyone to join in reverence as we commence this celebration of intellect and unity. To begin this momentous event, we invoke the divine blessings of Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles and harbinger of wisdom. We bow in reverence to Ma Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom and learning, the eternal light that dispels ignorance and awakens knowledge. We also pay tribute to the spirit of Maharaja Agrawal, whose vision, courage, and generosity continues to guide and inspire us. We now invite our esteemed dignitaries to honor the occasion by lighting the ceremonial lamp. before we proceed with the inaugural session, it is essential to pause and express our heartfelt appreciation to our chief guest. We would request Dr. Nandkishore Garg and Sir and T.R. Garg Sir to kindly felicitate with shows of honor and memento.
Legacy of Maharaja Agrisingh and celebrate the unity of our Mains family. Let us now rise for our Kulgi.
सफल योजना सघन प्रशिक्षण योग साधना प्रयोगशाला कक्षा परिसर बने शोध संस्थान देश है प्रथम अध्यय ज्ञान अग्रणी शिक्षा का संस्थान कुशलता कौशल अभियांत्रिकी दक्षता चिकित्सा विधि पत्रकारिता कला ज्ञान विज्ञान सिद्धता बहुविध शिक्षा से हम बनते जागृत प्रज्ञावान देश है प्रथम अध्यय ज्ञान अग्रणी शिक्षा का संस्थान पठन से सतत परीक्षण मूल्यांकन से कार्य सफल होते उद्यम से नामों केवल मनोरथों से इसी मंत्र को अपना कर हम होंगे चरित्रवान देश है प्रथम अध्यय ज्ञान अग्रणी शिक्षा का संस्थान आत्मा संस्कारित कर दो हे दाता विनयी जन सेवक साधक बन हम बन जाए अभय प्रदाता
this conference stands for: debate, dialogue and development. For the introductory remarks, we would now like to call upon the guiding force behind the MEMS MUN Society, our faculty convener, Associate Professor Dr. Poonima Gupta ma'am. Ma'am, your words will truly set the tone for the days to come.
Thank you so much. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the 4th edition of International MEMS Model United Nations and Youth Parliament 2025. On behalf of MEMS MUN Society, Department of Law, I, Dr. Poonima Gupta, Faculty Convener, take this opportunity to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest Sir, Shri Rakesh Asthana IPS, Founder Chairman and Chief Advisor MEMS, Chancellor Maharaja Agrawal University, Baddi, Dr. Nand Kishore Garg Sir, in absentia Chairman Sir Shri Vineet Kumar Lohia Sir, General Secretary MEMS Shri T.R. Garg Sir, Joint General Secretary MEMS Shri Rajneesh Gupta Sir, Director MEMS Professor Dr. Rajni Malhotra Jindra Ma'am, Director MEMS Professor Dr. Neelam Sharma Ma'am, Director MEMS Indra Bhardwaj Ma'am, Dean MEMS Professor Dr. S.S. Deswal Sir, heads and deans of all other departments of MEMS and MBBS, our distinguished guest faculty members, our sponsors, our delegates and executive board members from different parts of the country to the inaugural ceremony of MEMS 4th International Model United Nations and Youth Parliament 2025. As a convener, I had the privilege of witnessing the journey of this conference right from the inception. Over the past 3 successful editions, this platform has grown in scale, stature and spirit, and today, in its 4th year, we see it's reaching yet another milestone with over 200 plus passionate delegates from around the country and 7 dynamic committees spanning both national and international agendas. Each year, this conference has not only elevated the quality of debate and diplomacy, but has also strengthened our collective commitment to dialogue, leadership, and global understanding, which is evident from the edition of this first ever Youth Parliament this year. Model United Nations is an academic stimulation of the United Nations, where students play the role of delegates from different countries and attempt to solve the real-world issues with the policies and perspectives of their assigned countries or portfolios. Preparing and participating in an MUN helps students develop the leadership skills, research writing, public speaking, problem solving, and also inculcates skills of negotiation, conflict resolution, and cooperation. In today's globalized world, it is relevant that educational institutions to provide a plethora of opportunities to the young minds to cultivate and nourish these leadership skills, mental agility, confidence and commitment to the cause in the young generation. To all the delegates present here, I urge you to make the most of this experience. Let this be more than a competition. Let it be a classroom of ideas, collaborations, and confidence. Challenge perspectives, listen actively, and most importantly, enjoy the process of learning and unlearning. I would like to extend my gratitude to my esteemed faculty members, my dynamic team of MUN Secretariat, whose tireless efforts and enthusiasm have made this conference possible. My special thanks to our Director Ma'am, HOD Sir, all the administrative heads and staff, without whose valuable guidance this event had not taken the shape that it has. Once again, I welcome you to the MEMS MUN. May this edition be yet another step forward in our journey of growth, diplomacy, and youth empowerment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for those enlightening words. We now move on to welcome a true visionary, a leader whose guidance has been instrumental in shaping our institution's path to excellence. Under her leadership, MEMS has been accredited with the prestigious NAAC A++ great, standing as a symbol of quality education and innovation. We request Professor Dr. Rajni Malhotra Dhingra, Director Mains, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
A very good morning to the chief guest, Shri Rakesh Asthana ji, distinguished IPS and currently associated with Indian Council of Arbitrators as arbitrator, for sparing his valuable time to guide the youth who are aspiring to be the diplomats and to serve the humanity. I, on the behalf of Mates Parivar, welcome you for accepting our invitation to make this morning a beautiful one. I also welcome Dr. Nandkishore Garg, Founder, Chair and Chancellor, Maharaja Agrsingh University, Baddi, under whose able guidance, NAC A++ has been obtained by us, and all the Department of Mains are progressing rapidly and has become the first choice of the students in the various schools. I also welcome Shri T.R. Garg, General Secretary Mains, who always motivated and supported us in all our endeavors. I also welcome Shri Rajesh Gupta ji for the support he readily gives to us. I also welcome all the revered members of the trust, HODs of various departments, Director Mates, Dr. Neelam Sharma, Director Mates, Dr. Indra Bhardwaj, Dean Mate, SS Deswal ji, faculty members, my dear students and delegates. Today, as we gather here presenting the spirit of global diplomacy and youth leadership, we are not just simulating the United Nations, we are nurturing the leaders, negotiators and change makers of tomorrow. My dear delegates, the motto of Mains is nation first. The very spirit of nation find powerful expression in our Guru. Mention of Desh Pratham is a call to responsibility. It reminds us that as members of the institution, we have to be the torch bearer of a legacy that demands excellence, courage, and moral integrity. Moreover, as India is committed to be a skill-based society, so as an institution, we consider us duty-bound to provide the platform to the students to sharpen their skills and provide them best of the opportunity to make them ready for the outer world. Model United Nations is more than a conference. It is a platform where ideas meet intellect, where young minds learn the art of dialogue, diplomacy, consensus building. Model United Nations is not merely an academic exercise, it is a celebration of ideas, leadership, and global citizenship. It provides the students with the rare opportunity to step into the shoes of diplomats, to negotiate, to debate, and most importantly, to understand the power of dialogue in shaping the future. The challenges confronting the international humanities, whether in the sphere of peace and security, sustainable development, or human rights, require not unilateral action, but collective wisdom and shared commitment. It is in this context that initiatives such as Model United Nations assume great educational and moral values. To all the delegates, I urge you to approach these sessions not just with intellect, but with openness. Listen more. Then you speak. Respect every opinion, even when you disagree. Because true diplomacy is not about assuring and asserting powers. It is about building bridges. Remember, true diplomacy is not about winning arguments, but about finding common grounds. We all know that when Lord Krishna approached Duryodhana for negotiation, that was an apt example of true diplomacy. And rejection of the proposal made by Lord Krishna by Duryodhana was an example to assert powers. And we all know and aware about the consequences, that is war and bloodshed. In the contemporary world, although United Nations as such has lost relevancy, and our chairman will throw light on this. But still, with this kind of exposure, you will learn many techniques that will help you in shaping your career. Dear delegates, debating is an art, and like other form of art, it is required practice. It is an intellectual key to open the door of new opportunities. By participating in Model United Nations, you are enhancing your confidence to lead others, and trust me, the confidence is the most beautiful thing you can wear and has worth more than money. I extend my best wishes to all the delegates for productive deliberation and meaningful exchanges over the next 2 days. Let this MUN be a celebration of youth, intellect, and international understanding. I thank Dr. Purnima Gupta, Dr. Anuradha Asthana, Mr. Ishan Bhardwaj, Dr. Abhilasha, Dr. Malika Kosha, Ms. Hina for organizing this event. I also thank student team headed by Prabli, Samriddhi, Prakhar, Abe, and Saloni, and many more. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those inspiring words.
The world needs your voice, and today we are truly honored to welcome a man whose voice has shaped India's law enforcement, national security, and governance. We are privileged to host Shri Rakesh Asthana sir, IPS, as our chief guest for this year's MAMES Model United Nations and Youth Parliament.
Shri Rakesh Asthana is a distinguished IPS officer with nearly 4 decades of impeccable service, educated at the prestigious Netaharan School, St. John's College, Agra, and Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. He joined the Indian Police Service in 1984 and has since held numerous vital positions across India. As SP, CBI Dhandar, his landmark investigation into the multi-co folder case led to the conviction of the then Chief Minister of Bihar, Shri Lalu Prasad Yadav. And that case conspiracy successfully proving was accepted by the courts.
As Commissioner of Police, Vadodara and Surat, he solved the 2008 serial bomb blasts, dismantled terror networks, and implemented the Safe City project. Under his leadership and conviction, the conviction of Asaram Babu and his son Narayan Sai was achieved. At the national level, as Additional and later Special Director, CBI Headquarters, Delhi, Shri Asthana led high-profile cases including the Augusta Westland helicopter case, Vijay Mallya case, coal scam case, and the extradition of Christian Michelle James.
As Director General of Narcotics Control Bureau and later as DG of Border Security Force, he reinforced India's fight against drug trafficking and strengthened the nation's border. During his tenure as Commissioner of Delhi Police, he introduced groundbreaking reforms in policing structure and welfare measures for the officers.
Post-retirement, he continues to contribute to public service as a special monitor with the NHRC 2023 to 25 and as an arbitrator with the Indian Council of Arbitrators. A recipient of the President's Police Medal 2009, Shri Asthana's remarkable career embodies excellence, dedication, and service to the nation. We are deeply honored to have you among us, sir. We request you to please share your invaluable insights with us. Over to you, sir.
Inspector Dr. Nand Kishore Garg Sahab, all the dignitaries present on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. First of all, I must thank Dr. Garg and his colleagues for inviting me on this occasion and to address the youngsters who are going to be the future leaders of the country. It is indeed a pleasure and privilege both. And while I was sitting with Engineer T.K. Garg Sahab, he was talking about the institute. and the institutions which you have developed over a period of time. I'm greatly impressed by the service, by the dedication and the passion with which you have brought up these distinguished institutions in the country. Coming to the topic, this is the 4th edition of International Model UN and Youth Parliament. First, when I got this invitation, I was at loss as to how to go about addressing the youngsters who have come from across the country to participate in this distinguished forum. When I studied and found out something about UN and the parliamentary democracy which is relevant to the occasion. Actually, as per my understanding, this MUN, Model UN, is an academic simulation exercise to inculcate the knowledge and the reasoning amongst the youngsters with regard to the functioning and the working of the UN for the contemporary global issues and the crises which are addressed by the UN. It's a very relevant point, and I hope you will utilize this opportunity to discuss some very basic and very important global crises which are being faced by the world today, especially the wars in different zones, especially the violation of human rights while conducting the wars in different zones, and to find out some sort of alternative solution to restore peace in the world. Now today the world is not divided into nations. It is one world for everyone. We are definitely a nation, but because of the technology, because of the internet, because of the development, it is very difficult to survive in isolation. You have to be dependent on the other countries, nations, to progress and to develop the society. So in other words, we are borderless countries today, and the incident in one part of the world definitely impact us also in this part of the world. So any situation all over the world has to be dealt with proper analysis, discussion, debates, and ultimately to reach to a conclusion where the collaborative mechanism of solving the issues work. As all of you are aware, no solution is possible unilaterally. You have to be cooperative, you have to be collaborative. So this theme should be there while you go ahead with your Model UN debates and discuss various issues. Of course, the agenda has been set and you have to be within that agenda. But the basic guiding principle, as I understand, is to restore peace in the world. One has to have a collaborative approach. Nothing best can be explained, as has been explained in our culture, is that the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World is one family. It cannot be treated discriminately by the world leaders. We have one family, we have to be treated as one family, and solutions have also to be found out, keeping this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam concept in mind. Then there is another aspect of youth parliament, which is designed to teach you the democratic system which is prevalent in our country. And unfortunately, because of the media show, there is a lot of misconception about the parliamentary system of democracy in our country. Basically, because of the shows on the TV and YouTube channels about the fighting within the parliament, shouting within the parliament, has created a lot of misunderstanding amongst the youth who have a different concept of parliament in their mind. I must tell you, as a senior person with some experience of public service, that our Indian parliament is a very rich institution. It has got a very rich history behind it. The Constituent Assembly, the Indian Constitution, its debates, if you go through it, you will find that some 75 years back, our forefathers, our leaders, has discussed so many things in such a positive manner, keeping the diverse situations of our country in mind, and have designed a constitution which is relevant even today, and which will be relevant later on. Constitution of India is one thing which we must understand properly. And whatever we do in our parliamentary democracy is based on the guidelines of our Constitution. The discussions, the debates, even if there is shouting, there is fighting, if you see some of the parliamentarians, when they get up and talk sense, they have vision for the country, and they are working for the development of the country. So this is a very beautiful concept where the youngsters, the party leaders, they themselves participate as mock parliament, mock UN, and discuss and debate. This exercise is to bring out the quality of logical reasoning within it. You have to understand that the basic purpose behind this exercise is to bring out the critical analysis within you which you cannot understand unless you participate in the debates. People will laugh at you, of course. When you talk, some people who don't agree with your viewpoint may laugh at you, may disagree with you. But that doesn't mean that you are wrong. You should have some original thinking in you. You must think about the parliamentary democracy, the crisis faced by our country, in your own manner, and how to go about it. Today's world, as I understand, youngsters are mostly concerned with employment, development, and the betterment of the society. That is the primary objective of any student who is undergoing the classes for graduation or post-graduation, that once you pass out, what should be your future, whether you will get a good job or not. It's very good, that is the primary thinking. But at the same time, we should have a feeling of nations first. That is, by looking after our individual goals, by looking after our family goals, we should also look after our society, our nation, and think in terms of nations first than in terms of individual interests. That should be the idea. It may sound somewhat illogical to you at the moment, but as you grow in your career, in your life, you will find that you are not alone. You have to look after so many people who are with you or surrounded by you. It is the society, it is the family, it is the nation which you have to look after. That thinking should develop. Now, I am a little bit digressing from the main thing. It is basically, I am giving you one more idea about why these two things are common. The debates with regard to UN and the debates with regard to the parliamentary democracy in our country. There is something in common. Diplomacy, as Madam was talking, is very important in today's world. When you talk about the diplomacy of foreign policy, first thing which clicks in your mind is that the career diplomats, the IFS officers, they run the diplomacy or they run the foreign policy. That is correct. That is called executive diplomacy. But nowadays, there is another concept of parliamentary diplomacy, which is not very new, it's quite an old concept. But over a period of time, if you see history, India has also started delving into this concept of parliamentary democracy very actively. What is this concept? A little bit of theoretical understanding is a dialogue and cooperation between parliamentary delegations to influence the international relations and to address global issues. It complements the traditional executive diplomacy, fosters mutual understanding, sharing best practices, and holding governments accountable for international agreements. What are the channels? It can be bilateral, it can be multilateral, it can be continental. Now today the world is multipolar world. When the UN came into being, in 1945, it was a bipolar world. But over a period of time now it has become a multipolar world. And to handle the multipolar situations, the diplomacy has to be very deft and very complicated. In this situation, parliamentary diplomacy comes very handy. This is basically, if you, I think it is. In similar words, parliamentary diplomacy means, suppose India is there, parliamentarians of different parties together go to different countries to make the concept or make the ideas of India in an international world to that country relevant and acceptable. These can concern about the global issues, particularly the climate change, human rights, security, trade and commerce. These are the broad areas where this parliamentary diplomacy works. I'll give you one example. Recently we had Operation Sindoor. There was attack, terrorist attack in Pahalgam, and as a retaliation to that, there was a war between India and Pakistan. And the Operation Sindoor has been launched. Now to give an idea about the Indian side, Indian thinking, the Honorable Prime Minister of our country had sent delegations simultaneously to different countries. And these parliamentary delegations consisted of so many good politicians who are cutting across the party lines. They went abroad, they talked about the nation, they talked about the security of our country, they talked about the cross-border terrorism and the involvement of Pakistan in that, and tried to make the other countries understand under which situation India had launched an attack on the terror bases in Pakistan. This is a very beautiful example of parliamentary democracy. The US foreign policy has made this parliamentary diplomacy one of their basic tenets of foreign policy. India is also indulging into it, and gradually you will find more and more informal channels will come up with parliamentarians cutting across the party lines to carry forward the international affairs, carry forward the international relations. Keeping this concept in mind, I think the model UN and the this youth parliament is very relevant, and I hope the youngsters who have come from all over the country to join to this prestigious session will get benefited by it. To end my talk, I would like to say a few things about the future leaders of our country. आप देश के भविष्य हैं, इस बात को ध्यान में रख के you will have to work. You must be देश का भविष्य है और it is general Gen Z they call it, isn't it? So you are from Gen Z. I didn't understand earlier what is this Gen Z and all. One day I was going through some YouTube channel. They explained very nicely how every 20 years the generation changes. So today is the time of Gen Z. And you people, when you grow up, come out of an educational institution, you will have to lead the country. So you have two things I like to highlight, and then I will end my speech. Now the worst problem which we are facing today is corruption. Everybody who wants to join the public service, to work with the government, will come with only one motive, that is to enjoy the power, that is the positional power, the power which the chair gives, and to make money. But this situation is bad, we will have to come out of it. As youngsters, you will see in your day-to-day life how difficult it is to just maneuver your things. So when you become the leaders, when you join the service, in whatever manner you are contributing to the society, please keep in mind that corruption should not be the goal. National service should be the goal. Your conscience should be clear, and you work according to the voice of your conscience. That is the one thing which will make a lot of changes in our country, in our nation. And second thing is self-discipline. So many things are coming up, so many developmental activities are coming up. But because of indiscipline, we have not been able to make use of it. I'll give you one small example again. In some states, metro services were inaugurated. Metro is a very good concept and a very nice thing to have. But later on, what we did to the metro is spitting in the compartments, making it dirty, doing so many things which are not correct. This is a very small example which I am giving, which impact on your self-discipline. Self-discipline and no corruption should be the basic idea in your mind when you jump into the national service. And lastly, since I have worked as DG Narcotics Control Bureau, I have seen drug is a very big issue in our country. Mostly the students, youngsters are addicted to it. Please don't do it. It doesn't help in drugs is just a last word of caution. Drugs don't do any good to your health, destroy you, and destroy your family. I end up by citing one small experience which I had with the menace of drug. I was police commissioner of Baroda. I was sitting in my office in the evening. I got a call from an old person, 70, 72 years old. I want to meet you. I said, you please do come. He came. And what he said, he asked me to arrest his son, who is 25 years old. I said, why are you asking me to arrest his son? Because nobody wants his or her son to be arrested by the police for nothing. No, I want to save his life, please arrest him. What happened? My son is a drug addict and he is asking for money. We live on the 11th floor. And if I don't give him the money, he is telling me that I will jump from the 11th floor and commit suicide. Imagine the condition of a father or mother about their sons. This is something not done. Whatever we did is a different story. But drug abuse is a social problem. Please try to quell it. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words have been truly inspiring. Your dedication and commitment to create positive change has indeed broadened our horizons. Moving ahead, we have the privilege of welcoming Dr. Nand Kishore Garg, sir, Founder Chairman and Chief Advisor MAITS and Chancellor Maharaja Agrasen University, Baddi, a visionary leader whose life is a testament to humanitarian values and nation building. Sir.
Namaskar. अभी हमने अस्थाना जी को सुना, 40 साल का एक्सपीरियंस हो और उसमें से कुछ बातें अपने युवाओं को बतानी, कितना समय चाहिए, फिर भी उन्होंने कोशिश की ज्वलंत समस्याओं से जोड़ते हुए मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशंस जो कल्पना है यूथ पार्लियामेंट उसके ऊपर बातचीत की। मुझे आज 1962-63 का याद आता है जब ये यूनाइटेड नेशंस की स्कूल लेवल पे काफ़ी क्वेश्चनेयर होते थे, रिटन टेस्ट भी लेते थे और यूथ पार्लियामेंट भी होती थी। बड़ा अजीब लगता है, यूनाइटेड नेशन का नाम भी बड़ा अच्छा लगता है। क्यों बना ये, क्योंकि उस समय एक पुस्तक दी जाती थी, आज पता नहीं दी जा रही, पूर्णिमा को पता होगा। यूनाइटेड नेशन में है क्या क्या, क्यों बनाया गया, इसका पहला नाम क्या था, ये सब चीज़ें थोड़ा थोड़ा हमको जानकारी के नाते होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये भी एक इतिहास है। आखिर 200 के आसपास जो देश हैं, ऐसे ऐसे देश में जिनकी आबादी 10-15 हज़ार से भी शायद कम है, और ऐसे भी देश हैं जो हम 140 करोड़, सबसे ज़्यादा आबादी वाला देश हमारा है, और सबसे कम आबादी के ऐसे देश में 1 लाख से भी कम आबादी ऐसे भी देश, और सब समान है। एक अच्छी बात ये कि यूनाइटेड नेशंस में हर देश को बराबर का अधिकार, बराबर की वोटिंग राइट सब है। उसके बावजूद भी यूनाइटेड नेशन जब बना, यूनाइटेड नेशंस की लीग बनी, पहले विश्व युद्ध के बाद शांति की बात होनी शुरू हुई, वो चली रही थी, दूसरा विश्व युद्ध भी हो गया। और उस समय देशों ने बैठ के आपस में तय किया कुछ सेटल की चीजें, परंतु आज यूनाइटेड नेशंस यदि हम पीछे दृष्टि को डाल के देखें तो क्या सफल रहा है? लगता है कि शायद उसकी अपनी जो रेलेवेंस था वो जितना होना चाहिए सफल, उसमें से शायद प्रतिशत 15-20% ही सफल उसको मान सकते। तो उसके कई अंग सफल भी हैं। यूनाइटेड नेशंस के कितने बाकी जो अंग हैं, यूनेस्को ने बहुत काम किया, इंडियन लेबर के लिए इंटरनेशनल लेबर वालों ने बहुत काम किया, अलग अलग जगह हेडक्वार्टर्स में थोड़ा थोड़ा जब आज की डेट में गूगल के सबको आपको मिलेगा, थोड़ा अध्ययन करना चाहिए। और वीटो पावर का क्या मतलब है? ये जब सारी चीज़ें हम सीखने के लिए तो हैं, आपको कभी भी कभी जीवन में काम आए ना आए, तो नॉलेज होनी चाहिए ताकि हम अपने ही परिवार में दोस्तों में बैठे हम तो बिल्कुल पूरे ना। अधिकांश दिक्कत क्या है कि हमारे को ना अपने इतिहास का मालूम, ना अपने देश के इतिहास का मालूम, ना पूरे विश्व का मालूम। कि आज भी अभी स्थान ने थोड़ा सा इशारा किया, सबसे बढ़िया डेवलपमेंट कौन रहा है? आज भी विश्व में सबसे बड़ा डेवलपमेंट कोई रहा हो तो मैं समझता हूँ भगवान श्री कृष्ण रहेंगे। यदि आप उनका आज की चीज़ों से जोड़ने की कोशिश करेंगे तो आपको समझ में आए। आखिर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हमेशा रहेंगे, विरोधाभास हमेशा रहेंगे, झगड़े हमेशा रहेंगे, उनके रेजोल्यूशन कैसे हों, आपसी बातचीत कैसे हो, एक बातचीत का मंच प्रोवाइड करने के लिए यूनाइटेड नेशंस की स्थापना हुई। बातचीत का मंच भी है, अपने अपने कितने भाषण पैरेलल सेशन चलते रहते हैं यूनाइटेड नेशंस। हम देखते थे कि थोड़ा पॉलिटिक्स में रहे कि बड़ा यहाँ आके जो पार्लियामेंट के मेंबर दिखाता है कि मैं भी वहाँ भाषण दे गया, तो हम थोड़ा सा गहराई से देखा था। 150 लोग किसी सेमिनार में बैठे हैं और हमारे एमपी साहब जो भी वो भाषण दे के आते हैं, यहाँ आके बताते हैं कि मेरा यूनाइटेड नेशंस में भाषण। यूनाइटेड नेशन एक ऐसे वो है जिसके अपने खर्चे चलाने के लिए ओवर डिपेंडेंस अमेरिका में थी। अमेरिका ने उसका अपने पूरे अमेरिका ने यदि हिरोशिमा नागासाकी पर उस समय एटॉमिक बम ना गिराए होते तो अमेरिका की दादागिरी नहीं होती। अमेरिका ने उसका फायदा उठाकर अपनी इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोग्रेस अधिक से अधिक की, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वैज्ञानिक वहाँ पहुँच गए। जर्मन में युद्धियों के साथ जो कुछ व्यवहार हुआ उससे उसको एडवांटेज अमेरिका को मिला। इस थोड़ा थोड़ा इतिहास आप जानेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगी। और पर्पज भी इंट्रोड्यूस कराना किसी से पूर्णिमा और उसकी सभी सहयोगियों में एक अच्छा कार्यक्रम 4थी बार यहाँ हुआ है। कल तक ये चले, इससे सीखने की प्रवृत्ति हमारे अंदर होनी चाहिए। और ख़ास तौर पर जिसने या तो टीचिंग लाइन में जाना है उसको, और जिसने राजनीति समझनी है तो राजनीति में समझने के लिए कितना आदर्शवाद। जब हम लोग इमरजेंसी में जयप्रकाश नारायण के पीछे पीछे जेलों में पहुँचे 23-24 साल की उम्र में, कितना आदर्शवाद था। उन्हीं में से लालू यादव निकले जो अभी फोटो स्कैन की बात की, जिसने अगर वो विश्वास से शायद पहले था वो अफसर, बाद में समाज जिसको प्रूवन लोग हैं। तो इस देश का विरोधाभास देखिए, इस देश का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते हैं कि करप्टेड आदमी चुनाव नहीं लड़ सकता, पब्लिक ऑफिस नहीं ले सकता, परंतु चुनाव लड़वा सकता है, किसी पार्टी का हेड हो सकता। तो कितनी कंट्राडिक्शन है। मैंने पीछे एक पिटीशन बनाई थी तो डालने की भी कोशिश की कि जो आदमी स्वयं चुनाव नहीं लड़ सकता वो किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का हेड क्यों होना चाहिए। आप लॉ के स्टूडेंट्स हैं अधिकांश, रजनी जी, प्रवीण जी, आप लोग इसको तैयार करके डालिए ना, माहौल बनाइए इस देश में। परिवर्तन जब होता है जब माहौल बनता है। तो जी आखिर वो जुडिशरी वाले लोग ओवर बढ़ रहे हैं अपने काम में। 6 करोड़ मुकदमे उनके मुकदमों का इतना बड़ा भंडार है कि वो 10 जन्म में भी इनको कम नहीं कर सकते। जो भी चीफ जस्टिस आता है उसका पहली स्टेटमेंट होती है, देखो अब मैं कम कर दूँगा। रिटायर होने के जाते समय ये भी नहीं सोचते, कहता कि भाई नहीं करता। बहुत विडंबनाओं से भरा हुआ है इसके अंदर ईमानदार रहना, क्योंकि मैंने दोनों साइड देखी, जीवन में राजनीति में भी रह के देख लिया। ईमानदार रहना आज की तारीख में मैं मानता हूँ लगभग असंभव। जो डिमांड्स हैं, जो इच्छाएं हैं, जो वोटर की भी चाहत है, चुनाव लड़के को एक बार देख लो, उसको भगवान भी चुनाव लड़ने आएगा तो वो कान पकड़ेगा कि आगे से कोई चुनाव ना आए। ईमानदार रहने की कॉस्ट क्या है, कितने लोग उसको दे सकते हैं, ये उनको मालूम है जो थोड़े अंदर से जानते हैं। तो कहना बड़ा आसान, कहते भी कितने लोग उसमें हैं ईमानदार। आदर्शवादी हैं, जब IPS IAS IAS बन के आते हैं, जो हम एक संकल्प प्रोजेक्ट चलाते हैं और जिसमें से लगभग देश के आधे लोग हमसे कहीं न कहीं संपर्कित हैं। हमारा भी बच्चा 4थे नंबर पर आया, IAS में बच्चे 38 में 40 में कई बच्चियाँ आई। वो ईमानदार रहे कितने पाए, पहले 3 साल 4 साल 5 साल रहेंगे, फिर ये व्यवस्था में ऐसे लोग बैठे हैं जो उस व्यवस्था के चारों ओर हैं। तो कुर्सी पे एक अफसर जब बैठा DM जाके, उसके चारों लोग वही हैं, चपरासी से लेके बाकी लोग, और वो उसको धीरे धीरे उन लोगों से संपर्क ला देंगे। और सबसे बड़ी कमजोरी हर व्यक्ति की वो W's में है। उसकी एक बार उस कमजोरी को आदमी रिश्वत नहीं लेता तो शराब की आदत कहीं न कहीं ढूंढ लेते हैं, किसको शराब की आदत, किसको तीसरी वाली आदत है। और एक बार फंस जाओ चुंगल में, एक बार आप फंस गए तो आपकी सारी जीवन की तपस्या खत्म हो जाती है। इसलिए आप आदर्शवाद को लेकर चले, प्रेगमेटिक होके भी चले। और वकील बनने में तो एक तरफ आपके पास आदर्श हरीश सालवे है और दूसरी तरफ सिंघवी साहब हमारे, जो एक दिन के 55 लाख रुपये फीस लेंगे, जज को मिलने हैं मुश्किल से पूरे महीने में 3 लाख रुपये, 3 लाख रुपये महीने जिनको मिलते हैं उनके सामने जो वकील खड़ा है उसकी एक दिन की प्रैक्टिस 1 करोड़ 1.5 करोड़ 2 करोड़ की है। कितने दिन उसको वो ईमानदार रहेंगे। कपिल सिब्बल जैसे व्यक्ति कैश ना लेके राज्यसभा लेते हैं तो उसको ईमानदार कहेंगे। फिर वो पॉडकास्ट करता है, आजकल लगता है यूट्यूब चलता है। तो बड़ी विडंबनाओं से भरा हुआ है। और इस व्यवस्था में जितना ज़्यादा गहराई में जाएंगे उतना ज़्यादा गुस्सा आएगा, बोलेंगे तो एनकरेजमेंट। इसलिए आदर्शवाद लेके चले हम, एक ही ध्यान कर लेंगे, मेरे किसी काम से मेरे देश का, मेरे समाज का अहित ना होता हो। तो मैं तो उसको प्रणाम करने को तैयार हूँ। इतना भी ध्यान करे, अपना जो कुछ कर रहा है उसका अपना काम है, ऊपर वाले का न्याय कभी भी देर हो सकती है, चूक नहीं हो सकती। इसलिए भगवान आपके अंदर भी बैठा है, आपके चारों ओर भी है, उसको जागरूक रखें और आगे बढ़ें। आपसे जैसे भी बताया कि भविष्य का दारोमदार भारत का आपके पास है। इस देश का प्रधानमंत्री कितनी मेहनत करता हो, मुख्यमंत्री करते हों, उनके कितना असर पड़ रहा है। वो जब तक जीवित, आज के देश में एक आदर्श प्रधानमंत्री हमें मिला है। जब हम पढ़ते थे तो एक ही आदमी नजर आया करता था, उसे ही पढ़ाया करते थे। और तो आज हमें प्रैक्टिकल नजर आता है कि एक आदमी एक दिन में 16 घंटे, सवेरे वो आज गुजरात में यदि सरदार पटेल को श्रद्धांजलि दे रहे होंगे, कुछ कर रहे होंगे, उसके बाद वो छत्तीसगढ़ चले जाएंगे, छत्तीसगढ़ से फिर आगे बिहार में। एक आदमी एक दिन में 3 रोड कर, मोटिवेशन का भी काम कर रहा है, वोट को भिखारी बनकर भी हाथ जोड़ के वोट मांग रहे हैं। और डेवलपमेंट के काम रोजाना 10,000 20,000 करोड़ के काम शुरू कर रहे हैं। हमने तो कभी इमेजिन नहीं किया था। 75 साल की आयु में आज हम देखें और 1954-55 से बाद की सारी घटनाएं याद हैं। हमने ऐसा समय नहीं देखा कि इतना डेवलपमेंट होता। उसके बाद हिंदुस्तान के लोगों पर जो असर होना चाहिए, जो प्रभाव होना चाहिए, जो किसी की इज्जत होनी चाहिए, चर्चा होनी चाहिए, शायद वो नहीं हो। जागरूक बने, क्रिटिसाइज खूब करें, तो अच्छी चीज़ों को अप्रिशिएट भी करें, लोकतंत्र के अंदर दोनों चीजें चाहिए। केवल क्रिटिसिज्म करना, केवल अधिकारों के लिए लड़ना, बसों को जलाना, तोड़-फोड़ करना। अभी मेट्रो का उदाहरण दिया, दिल्ली में मेट्रो यदि साहिब सिंह वर्मा ना होते और एक अफसर और मैं ना होता तो दिल्ली में मेट्रो कैंसिल हो गई थी। ये कहा था कि 1000 करोड़ रुपए साल का लॉस टीटीसी दे रही है, 1000 करोड़ का साल बिजली देता है, दिल्ली सरकार का बजट 5000 करोड़, तो मेट्रो को कैसे चलाएं? एक श्रीधरन को लिया है सही चॉइस में, उसने एक पहले दो कंडीशन की बड़ी सख्त कि मुझे कोई ट्रांसफर पोस्टिंग के लिए, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के लिए सीएम साहब फोन नहीं आना चाहिए, तो मैं केरल से अपने रिटायर्ड लाइफ फिर से आके काम किया उसने। और आज दिल्ली मेट्रो के कारण लगभग 25 शहरों में मेट्रो के काम चल रहे हैं और दिल्ली भी 400 किलोमीटर का टारगेट हम इस अगले साल तक पूरा करेंगे। तो एक व्यक्ति का संकल्प कर सकता है, एक व्यक्ति का संकल्प वंदे भारत ट्रेन से लेकर न जाने कितनी ट्रेन चल रही हैं हो सकता है, तो आप सब मिलकर काम करेंगे तो 2047 जो हमारे लिए टारगेट ये है 100 साल आजादी के होने पर, उस समय तक इस देश को जितने था वाली चीजें हैं वो सब हटेगी। हम हैं और गर्व से कहेंगे हम भारतीय हैं और हम गारंटी देते हैं पूरे विश्व में भाईचारा शांति स्थापित करने का। यूक्रेन युद्ध हो या हमास का हो, दुनिया में बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स है, उन सब प्रॉब्लम को यदि ईमानदारी से टैकल किए गए तो सबके सॉल्यूशन भी हैं। अभी सॉल्यूशन देने का सामर्थ्य भारत में है, वो सामर्थ्य आपके माध्यम से लगेगा और उस सामर्थ्य को जगाकर हमने आगे बढ़ना है। तो यूनाइटेड नेशंस को मॉडल बनाने का भी दायित्व अल्टीमेट भारत पर है। यूनाइटेड नेशंस को जब भी पीस कीपिंग प्रोसेस की जरूरत हुई तो आधी से ज़्यादा हमने की, हमारे जवानों ने, हमारे अफसरों ने विश्व में जहाँ भी गए, मुश्किल से मुश्किल जगह चुनाव कराने की बात आई तो भारत के लोगों ने जाके ईमानदारी से चुनाव कराए। तो भारत की क्षमता है, परंतु भारत के लोग हनुमान जी के भक्त हैं और हनुमान जी को भी विस्मृति होती थी, जामवंत तुमको याद दिला देता था तुम ये कर सकते हो। तो आज भारत के अंदर भी जामवंतों की जरूरत है और स्थानीय जैसे लोगों ने रिटायरमेंट के बाद उस दायित्व को संभाला, अपने जिम्मे लिया है कि जहाँ भी बुलाएंगे मैं जाऊँगा और देश के भावी नागरिकों को जागरूक करके देश प्रेम के प्रति समर्पण भाव से जो काम करे वो कोशिश करेंगे। और हम भी चाहेंगे कि ऐसे लोग और निकलें जिनके अपने जीवन के एक्सपीरियंस हैं, उनके माध्यम से देश को आगे बढ़ाने में हम सब समर्थ हों। भगवान हमें सामर्थ्य दे। आप सब लोग आज इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे, कल भी करेंगे, सीख के लिए करेंगे, उस वैल्यू एडिशन होनी चाहिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for always being a beacon of inspiration for us. We are indebted. Now, as we gather to shape the world anew, let music be a tapestry of unity. That is true. Please welcome Yash with guitar in hand to croon a patriotic melody that will surely stir our hearts.
सजाया है
of our Model United Nations and Youth Parliament Conference.
This brochure represents the culmination of our efforts to create a platform for young minds to come together, share ideas, and shape the future. We request our honorable dignitaries to kindly release the brochure symbolizing the commencement of MUN's journey. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. And today, we take a moment to acknowledge the tireless efforts of our Legal Aid Committee for their commitment to justice and social welfare. We now proceed with their felicitation. We kindly request all our dignitaries to award the mementos of excellence to acknowledge their dedication. Now, we would like to call upon Yukti Malik, convener, Vidhi Goyal, convener, Khushi Bajaj, co-convener, Abhishek.
And also, Cyril and Nina, please come on the stage for the group photo of the Legal Services Leading Games.
Leadership is not about title, it's about vision and conviction. Now comes the moment we have all been waiting for. The official opening of Main's 4th International Model United Nations and Youth Parliament 2025.
We invite Prakhar Raj Astogi, Secretary General, and Abhay Shah, Deputy Secretary General, to take the stage and formally declare the conference open.
Okay, very good afternoon everyone. First of all, thank you all the dignitaries visit here. I believe all the speakers before me have shared their experiences and insights. I being the youngest of all may not have as much experience as you all have, but I do have something heartfelt that I want to share today. Before I speak about the subject matter, the relevancy and the significance of MUNs and YPs, let me tell you a little about where I come from. I come from a place that is known as Mohan. Mohan is a very small town that is 20 kilometers from Lucknow. As I told you, it's a very small town, so when we talk about the education there, we do have a few primary schools, one secondary school, and fortunately one degree college. And in terms of healthcare, we do not have any specialized hospitals, but yes, we do have one nursing home. And the reason I am telling you about this is that the place Mohan is named after the visionary Hazrat Mohani, one of the founding members of Constitution. One of the founding members of one of the fathers of the Constituent Assembly, one of the members of the Constituent Assembly, the visionary who first raised the call for Purna Swaraj much before the Indian National Congress in 1921, and also demanded the Constitutional Republic for India. But even after 75 years of independence and representative democracy, my town Mohan still truly waits to be represented. And now when we come to the subject matter, the Model United Nations and Youth Parliaments, these are the very instruments through which people like me hope for representation. Because in these 2 days, each one of you will represent some country or some constituency that in one way or another lacks a balance. a balance of development, a balance of growth. Since childhood, I have always been fond of bicycles, and something I have learned over this period of time is that both bicycles and nation needs balance. The balance comes from maintaining harmony between adhikar and kartavya. Adhikar is the rights given to us by the constitution, the right to elect and right to get elected, to represent and to get represented. And kartavya, the duty placed upon us by the very constitution, to represent those who need our voice. That is why when we were trying to choose our tagline for the conference, we choose the word needs a voice. Okay, I need to just wrap it up. Okay, with this belief in mind and the hope that each of us carries the spirit of responsibility and reputation, I, Prashna Raj, the Secretary General of Main Sports International Moderated Nations and Youth Parliament,
and I, Abhay Shukla, Deputy Secretary of Main Development and International and Youth Parliament, declare this conference open.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, secretaries, and congratulations to the entire organizing team for making the vision come alive. Before we close, we invite Dr. Praveen Kumar Gupta, Head of the Department of Law, to present and kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
है प्रीत जहाँ की रीत सदा, मैं गीत वहाँ के गाता हूँ, भारत का रहने वाला हूँ, भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ। आज भारत के इतिहास में एक महान दिन है, क्योंकि लौह पुरुष सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल की आज जन्म जयंती है, जिसको पूरा देश बड़े जोर शोर से मना रहा है। पूरे देश में हर एक जगह रन फॉर यूनिटी का आयोजन किया गया, जिसमें हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी से लेकर और छोटे से छोटे गांव में ये आयोजन किया गया। तो आज के इस पावन पर्व पर हमारे प्रांगण में पधारे आदरणीय श्री राकेश अस्थाना जी का मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ। इनको हम जब दिल्ली के पुलिस कमिश्नर पद पे आसीन थे तब से हम बुलाना चाह रहे थे, लेकिन उस समय शायद व्यस्तता के कारण ये हमारा जुड़ाव नहीं हो सका। लेकिन हमें आज कोई अफसोस नहीं कि आज महान दिन पे हम कह सकते हैं कि देर आए दुरुस्त आए। तो सर ने बहुत ही अच्छे शब्दों में अपने मुखारबिंद से डायलॉग के बारे में बताया कि यूएन हो या हमारी संसद हो, तो उसमें डायलॉग का कितना महत्व है। वास्तव में भारत की जो परंपरा रही है वो डायलॉग पर आधारित है। सिर्फ एक 10 सेकंड की बात मैं कहूँगा कि मैं जब बचपन से मेरे फादर मदर को देखता था तो एक परंपरा थी उनकी कि सुबह खासकर सर्दियों में अर्ली मॉर्निंग 4:30-5 बजे उनका एक रूटीन होता था, ये चाय के साथ और गोंद का लड्डू। तो वो सिर्फ एक सुबह की दिनचर्या नहीं, उस आधे घंटे का उनका सुबह का पूरे परिवार की समस्याएं सुलझ जाती थी। दैट वाज ए एग्जाम्पल ऑफ डायलॉग। आज 99% जो विवाद है, खासकर जो फैमिली डिस्प्यूट हैं, वो डायलॉग के अभाव में है। हस्बैंड वाइफ में कोई डायलॉग नहीं है, बहुत कम डायलॉग है। तो जितने भी विवाद हैं, तो सर ने बड़े, और हमें मालूम चला कि सर अभी रिटायरमेंट के बाद इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ आर्बिट्रेशन से एसोसिएटेड हैं। तो ये हमारा और भी परम सौभाग्य है, और ख़ासकर लॉ स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, क्योंकि हर साल मार्च में हम लॉ फेस्ट और ADRCC कंपटीशन करते हैं। तो हमारे लिए तो सौभाग्य की बात है कि सर हमें गाइड भी करेंगे, जज भी करेंगे और हमारे गेस्ट भी होंगे। तो हमें तो आज खजाना मिल गया। आज ये बहुत ही अच्छा दिन है, हमारे प्रांगण में आप पधारे हैं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। मैं विशेष रूप से हमेशा की तरह हमारे गाइडिंग फोर्स आदरणीय डॉक्टर नंद किशोर गर्ग जी, उन्होंने बड़े सुंदर तरीके से हमें समझाया तो उनके बारे में तो जितना कहा जाए उतना ही कम है। तो शायद ही कोई ऐसा एरिया है, जो क्षेत्र है, कोई विषय है जिनका उनको ज्ञान नहीं हो। तो मैं एक बात ओपनली आज कह सकता हूँ कि उनकी इस विलक्षण प्रतिभा की कारण प्राय लोग सामने आने से डरते हैं कि पता नहीं सर कौन सा क्वेश्चन पूछ लें। तो मैं सर का बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ कि उनके इस ज्ञान से हमें गाइडेंस मिलती रहती है। और इसके साथ ही आज हमारे इस प्रांगण में इस कार्यक्रम में पधारे हैं, जो कि बहुत कम हमें कई बार मौका मिलता है। आदरणीय श्री TR गर्ग जी, उनका मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ। आदरणीय श्री मोहन गर्ग जी, श्री रजनीश गुप्ता जी, मैडम रजनी मल्होत्रा ढिंगड़ा जी, डायरेक्टर महोदया, जिनकी गाइडेंस में मेम्स दिनों दिन उन्नति कर रहा है। और साथ ही हमारी मेट्स की जो सलाहकार हैं मैडम बैठी हैं, और मैडम मेट्स डायरेक्टर मैडम नीलम शर्मा जी, और DSS देसवाल जी, सर अग्रवाल जी, तो सबका मैं बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ। इसके साथ ही हमारे जो अन्य विभागों के HOD हैं, श्री मनोज वर्मा जी और मैडम सरिता गर्ग, मंजू गुप्ता मैडम, सभी फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, विशेष रूप से स्टूडेंट्स और प्रतिभागी जो आज ये हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, तो इन्होंने प्रोग्राम में 4 चांद लगाए हैं। इन सब के लिए मैं विशेष रूप से आभारी हूँ, धन्यवाद करता हूँ। और आप 2 दिन तक इस कार्यक्रम को, इस कंपटीशन को, MUN को अपने बेहतर डायलॉग से इसको केवल एक कंपटीशन ना समझते हुए और अच्छे संवाद से इसको आगे बढ़ाएं और अपने कैरियर और अपने आगे की प्रोग्रेस के लिए इसको एक बेहतरीन अवसर माने, ताकि आप यहाँ से एक अच्छी यादें लेकर जाएं। इसी के साथ मैं सभी का पुनः धन्यवाद करता हूँ और इस कार्यक्रम को, इस 2 दिन के आयोजन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए सबका धन्यवाद करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. We would like to welcome Shri Naresh Agarwal, sir, to honor our motherland. I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
For joining us today, the main sports international Modern United Nations and Youth Parliament 2025 is now officially underway.
Sorry,